the effect of that. So today is a good day to communicate and clarify transformational information, because it's the peak of the Buddha moon. This is the height of clarity and, quote, enlightenment, meaning awakeness, for this year. And next year, the whole year will be very similar to what's happening during this moon. So understanding this, theoretically more for you because you haven't had that much experience yet, but some experience now, so you at least enough to verify what I'm saying has been relatively accurate in your experience. Then we can consciously start to kind of prepare and work with that energy as it moves through. This year, more or less detaching from all of that, centering, and then resolutely getting ready for next year to, when that energy starts to break back through after being concentrated in during the serpent, back down Kundalini, going to the base again. Then the horse, which is the Kundalini totally arose and back into the source again, we consciously work with that energy through agreement and common vision. How to put that energy into a vision that literally manifests itself out, so that we don't just talk about it and blue sky about it all the time. Sublime practicality. Go into the spiritual, experience the spiritual principles, bring them down with you into matter, into the body. Embody the spirit. Embody in flesh and in bone and in blood and in brain and in testicles and in all the chakras the spiritual principles that you experience in your meditations and in your centering processes. The results are phenomenal, individually alone, let alone in relationship with others. The results are literally transformational. You'll change your consciousness, your language, your behavior, and even your body will transform to the new consciousness. So if we understand this through our studies and our experience, the next year when the horse energy moves through for the whole year, particularly at its peak times, the second line and the fifth line particularly, our creative capacities, our origination abilities, our ability to originate new consciousness will be at peak. And this is for everyone. This isn't just for people born in the year of the horse. It's for everyone. Those born in the year of the horse are imprinted with it, and so they are more expressive of the energy because they're imprinted with it, so it's coming right through them immediately. The rest of us it's affecting, but mostly unconsciously. But the creative juice next year, particularly the spiritual, creative, heavenly, originating consciousness juice will be at its peak in a 12-year cycle next year in the year of the horse, particularly in April, May, June, and October, November, December. And that will be the second line of the first hexagram in the I Ching and the fifth line of the first hexagram in the I Ching, which I think I would like to go to now and actually read those two lines.
Okay.
Because that's what's happening right now to a great degree. So let's do that now. Let's go to the I Ching. Number 9, note from the blue. This is information from the first hexagram in the I Ching, the creative heaven, the originating heaven, yang over yang, 6 yang lines, which is the moon we're in. It's also the Buddha moon, the moon of enlightenment. And so this moon is a very potent creative moon, particularly spiritual. It's a hint of what's coming. It's a prelude to next year, which is the year of the horse. This is the horse moon. So I'd like to read the second and fifth lines of this I Ching. It would be the second yang line and the fifth yang line, to let you know the peaks of these energies. So the first line I'll share with you the information, first in symbolic form, and then in the interpretation of it through actually the Confucian interpretation. Confucius interpreted it, and it's his English translation of Confucius's interpretation of this line, 9 in second place, means dragon appearing in the field. It furthers one to see the great man. Interpretation. Here the effects of the light-giving power begin to manifest themselves. In terms of human affairs, this means that the great man or the integrated individual makes his or her appearance in his or her chosen field of action. And yet he has no commanding position, but is with his peers. However, what distinguishes him from the others is his integrity, his seriousness of purpose, his unqualified reliability, and the influence he exerts on his environment without conscious effort. Such an individual, man or woman, is destined to have great influence and to set his environment or her environment in harmonious natural order. Therefore, it is favorable to see him or her. Now, my added interpretation to this line is that the great man is your higher self. It's your oversoul, guardian angel, genius, or your Atman. That spark of God, which is this hexagram, this number 1 hexagram, Qin, the creative heaven, with inside of you. Now, the peak of this energy in this moon is today. And so we're going to get this information out today to you. This is what's happening, and the end of this is happening today. 9 in the 5th place. Flying dragon in the heavens. It furthers one to see the great man. And this is the interpretation of this field of energy. Here the integrated individual, the great man, has attained the sphere of the heavenly beings. His or her influence spreads and becomes visible throughout the whole environment. Everyone who encounters him or her may count himself blessed. Confucius says about this line, things that accord in tone vibrate together, meaning accord meaning in harmony. Things that are in harmony vibrate together. Things that have affinity in their inmost natures seek one another. Water flows to what is wet, fire turns to what is dry. Clouds, the breath of heaven, follow the dragon. Wind, the breath of earth, follows the tiger. Thus the sage, the integrated individual, arises, and all beings and creatures follow him with their eyes. What is born of heaven feels related to what is above. What is born of earth feels related to what is below. Each follows his own essence, nature, and kind. This is the information that's important to remember, because next year, this information is for the whole year. And these two particular lines take place, this second line in April, May, June, and this 5th line in October, November, December. So this gives you some hint of the energy that's coming to the whole earth next year in the year of the horse. Thank you for listening to this. May it benefit you in your transformation process. Peace through renaissance. And remember, folks, harmony works.